So hello and welcome to this week's episode of Adventure Bike Pilot. I hope you had a great Christmas and a happy new year. In this week's episode, I just want to go over a recent addition to the storage capacity on the motorbike, and that's this Cymarc Pillion storage box. Now I bought this because I wanted to get some additional storage just for the tools that I have on the motorbike, and that will allow me to not just store them on the motorbike, but store them securely, that I can leave them there overnight when I'm traveling. So what this box is it's an aluminium metal box that will sit where the current pillion seat is, and it connects to the existing pillion seat connections and will lock in place using your motorbike key. It also has its own lock here that will allow you to lock the box itself, and it's just as secure as the metal aluminium pannier systems on your motorbike. So it's a great little box. They actually do this in two different sizes. This is the lower size. There's a much taller one again, but I thought that this was pretty much in line with the size of the existing pillion seat, so it kept the profile of the bike quite well. It's also in black, which matches the colour of the existing seat. They do a plain aluminium one, so I suppose it depends on what your preference is and what colour your bike system is. But I went with the black one. Now, what I did find was, you'll notice I've put this sheet over it, this adhesive sheet with the MotoGP on it, although I'll probably take it off. But the reason for that is I found that when you're putting the key in, because like me, if you're like me and you carry an awful lot of keys, when you put it in and you're moving it, the keys are kind of rubbing across the paintwork of the aluminium box, and I think over time that will start to scratch. So I've put this adhesive sheet over it. But to be honest with you, it didn't come out the way I wanted it, so I'll probably take this off again and put in something else just along here to stop that scratching. But it's a great little box. As I said, it connects in where the existing pillion seat goes. It's made of metal. It's very secure, and then it has an awful lot of capacity. And I'll go through what it is I'll be holding in this box in a moment. But again, it's very easy to fit. It comes already pre-painted. All you have to do is insert this little connecting nut here. There's only two nuts. There's no point in doing an installation on it. It's literally you put that in and then you adjust on the two nuts. It comes with these little black foam pieces here that kind of pushes it up from the bike and make sure that it doesn't kind of wobble around or rattle when you're driving. The one thing I would say is if you're ordering this, I would ask for additional ones of these. Some of them, the one I had, the sticky backside of it kept coming off, so I've had to put on additional glue, and I might write off to them and see if I can get some additional spares to put on it. But it's basically three little foam pads, two on either side of the nut and one here at the back. And that's it. You know, it's the nut, as I said, goes in here in the middle. One thing to note as well is when you get it, they do cover it in a kind of a protective oil before they ship it. So you need to rinse that oil off before you install it yourself and put it on. But it's a really, really good box. As you can see, quite secure. I think it looks well. We'll go out and we'll have a look at it on the bike. I've already put my Adventure Bike Pilot branding on it. As I said, I've put the cover on the top to stop it from getting scratching, but I'm not happy with that. I'll take that off again and find another solution. But it's a great box. There's a couple of things that if I was emperor of the world and I could change, I would give them as constructive feedback on it. And if they do watch this, I hope they take it as that. Number one is that this lock, and I asked them at the time, they can't do it. If this could be coded to your Touratech boxes, that would be brilliant, because then it would be one less key to carry. So that would certainly be one thing I'd try and get them to change. The other thing then is these hinges are quite pronounced, and I think they should have been maybe done in aluminium instead of, I think there is some sort of a plastic. I think they may be a security risk, but I think that these should be aluminium, much more low profile. And because this part of it here is going to be where your back is, if they could maybe cover it then with a foam pad or something like that, that would be absolutely fantastic. And then these little Allen key bolts here, I think these should be rivets instead of Allen keys. You know, I can see why they've done it, but I think for security, I think that would be better if they were rivets. But other than that, it's a phenomenal box. And we'll go through now what it is that I'd probably store in this going forward. and then we'll go out and have a look at it on the motorbike. So now let's have a look at what it is I'll personally be carrying in this box. I've mentioned before, I'm not mechanically minded whatsoever. If the bike breaks down, there's not a lot I can do about it on the road. So I think 99 times out of 100, I'll just be calling the breakdown service if something does happen. I mean, hopefully nothing will happen to this bike. It's pretty new. There shouldn't be anything particularly serious with it. So 99 times out of 100, the only things I really need on the road are things to fix a puncture repair, or maybe a flat battery, or maybe just adjusting a mirror, or maybe some fasteners on the fairing. So that's all I need in terms of tools to be bringing with me. So that's primarily what I'm going to be carrying in this box. Now, the one thing I would say about that is that because I'm going to be carrying all of my tools in this box, it means that they're going to be pretty much central on the motorbike, which is great. Because if you're on a long tour, as you can see, this box is quite large. So I'm going to be removing this amount of tools and this amount of weight, which is somewhere in the region, I'd say, of about 8 to 10 kilograms from the side panniers. And if you're like me and you pack most of your clothes in one pannier and then you're keeping all of your tools, etc., in the other pannier, because I generally keep my electronics in the rear back box, that means that there's a disproportionate amount of weight being carried on one side, because the clothes are quite, large and bulky, but quite light, whereas these are small but very, very heavy. So let's go through them and I'll show you what it is I'll have. So generally I'll carry something like, I keep a little small box of fuses, different sizes of fuses in my grumpy old Git mince box. So that's to keep the fuses in. I also carry this little emergency light with me, and that's, if I'm broken down on the side of a road, it's pitch dark and absolutely lashing with rain. I want to be visible and seen, so I bought this little emergency light. It's the same one that the Gardaí use. As you can see, it pulses and it has various different settings on it, and I can use that to make sure I'm quite visible on the road. And if I do need an emergency truck to come find me, they'll easily be able to find me using this. I also have a tube of emergency flat tire repair, a tire sealant. This is only if I can't fix the tire at all. I can't plug it. I can't get I can't find or can't remove the item that's in the tire. This will allow me to fill the tire with a sealant, rotate it, seal the puncture, and just get me to somewhere where I can get the tire fixed. So that's a last resort item. I keep my little Spada over mitts, the waterproof rain mitts that I've recently bought. And just as I've said, one of the major benefits of these is that they're so small that they literally just pack away into the box. Unlike the large toucans that I have, these take up a tiny amount of space, although there are other issues with those, and I've gone through those before. I have a pressure gauge, so I can check what my tire pressure is at on the go. I also then have my Airman tire inflator, and this is the SAE model now that I have the SAE cable coming out from the motorbike that I've mentioned in previous videos. So I don't have the old cigarette adapter cable anymore. That's gone. It's replaced for a USB adapter. So because I wanted to carry one of these with me, I think these are very important to have. I've switched to an SAE tire inflator, and I can just connect this to the SAE cable coming off straight from the battery, and away I go. Again, very handy, and you'll probably find that you won't need these 99% of the time, but when you do need them, you absolutely won't be without them. Is a set of motorcycle jump leads. I've been in situations where just leaving the keys with the ignition on or whatever, and the battery's gone, and you've been in situations where you've had to jump the bike. Very handy to have. Even if not for yourself, you might find somebody in your group might need a jump leads at some point, so they're a very, very handy thing to carry. I have my little torch, just a little pocket torch in case I break down or need something done to the bike in the middle of the night. Set of cable ties always come in handy. You never know what situation you're going to need them in. And then finally, the actual tire plugger kit itself. I carry the one that has the gun in it, just to make it that bit easier. The problem that does present is it's an awful lot bulkier. but I do think it's worth the extra weight. But that's it. So I have everything I need here to either fix a repair the tire, jumpstart the battery, cable ties, emergency breakdown kit, pressure gauge, fuses. I also need to get some bulbs and stuff like that and put them in here. I'll also be getting some CO2 cartridges to just in case the airman doesn't work. For example, if you blow a fuse or it just doesn't work, it's always better to have the low-tech option there, which is, well, a little valve with a CO2, and that'll just re-inflate your tire, no problem. So that's everything that I have that I need to get the bike running again in case there's a puncture or a battery fault. That allows me then to use the Touratech box that I've got on the side of the motorbike, then to fill that with just other tools like spanners and pliers and things like that, Allen keys, and then I have everything on the go. So that's everything that I need. So with that, we'll go out and we'll have a look at the box and how it looks on the motorbike and how it fits. As I said, it's very easy to fit this. So we'll see you out at the bike.
A few moments later.
So here we are now out at the motorbike, and I'm just going to show you how easy it is to put this box onto the bike. It's really as simple as just taking off the rear seat and just putting in the new box. It has exactly the same connectors as the underneath of this seat, so it's that easy, and I'll go through that now. So obviously we just take off the seat. So as you can see, there's the connectors for the current seat. That's it. This is exposed now. Let's put this away. So now we have the box, and it has, as you can see, the exact same connectors, and these little foam pads here are what pushes it away from the bike itself and keeps it rigid on the bike so it's not rattling around. So I find the best way to put this on is to just line up the bolt with the hole as well as the back ends. Just make sure your key is open. Give it a good thud, close the key, and that's it, locked in. You can see it's solid now. So now you can access the box here. As I said, the lock is here. Open it up and keep all your bits and bobs in here. So as I said, I think this box is as secure as your panniers or your back box. I wouldn't keep anything expensive or anything like that in these boxes overnight anyway, you know. So I think it's just as secure as this or the two panniers. You can leave a few bits and bobs and tools in here overnight. As I said, I think these hinges are a little bit pronounced, and I would like to see a pad here. These should have been metal because I think they're a security risk. But overall, I think it's a great box, and I'm looking forward to getting it out onto the road. Hopefully this COVID business will be over soon. Although the numbers here in Ireland at the moment in January have absolutely skyrocketed since the Christmas period. But at least the vaccine is in sight, so there is light at the end of the tunnel. So hopefully it's not the oncoming train. But yeah, so that's the box. So I'm delighted to get it installed now. As I said, can't wait to get it out on the road. I wouldn't use this in all scenarios. As I said, because of its position, the centre of gravity is good for the tools that are quite heavy. As I said, they're probably in and around 10 kilograms rather than having it all on one side. And I can get the bulk of my stuff in here. I still have the Touratech box down here for then spanners and Allen keys and stuff like that to make any adjustments to things like mirrors or fairings or any of the gadgets that I have connected to the handlebars. So I think that's a great solution now. You know, I'm able to carry everything that I need on the longer trips when I'm solo riding, and it's going to be great to know that I have the stuff with me. It gives me nice peace of mind. So thanks very much for that, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Take care and safe riding.